Time to pack your bags for a fall golf adventure to Michigan's bevy of golf at the BOYNE resorts. We will discover a one-of-a-kind golf collection right here in the city of Chicago. We'll also have plenty of insightful golf instruction. Tour Edge Golf is rocking and rolling with cutting-edge irons that will help any player's game. And we unwrap the coolest and newest clubhouse to ever hit the Windy City.
Ah, the cool, clean, fresh air of northern Michigan. Welcome to our special fall edition show at BOYNE Golf. With 3 golf resorts and 10 golf courses, this destination is one of the biggest and best you will find anywhere in the world.
Can you believe having 10 varied enticing courses to choose from, along with 3 separate resorts which provide a variety of comfortable accommodations? Well, yes, the conveniently located resorts of Michigan's BOYNE Golf has something for every traveling golfer.
There's a lot of resorts in this state, in other parts of the country, that have 5, 6 golf courses and stuff and like that, but there's, 1 or 2 that are really good and the other ones are okay. In this facility is, like you said, the Heather, the Hills, Bay Harbor. You have the Ross, you have such a variety of different golf courses that are all good.
The one thing that sets us apart is that even if you go to some of the most famous destinations with multiple courses in the U.S., they're set on very similar terrain. Here, I've got Lake Michigan for a backdrop on our Bay Harbor courses. But here's kind of a microcosm, because you've got a link course built, you've got one built in an old shale quarry, and you've got a parkland course with the lake 200 feet beside you that you don't even realize. And that's, like I said, a microcosm of what happens because at Boyne Highlands, you've got mountain courses. The Arthur Hills was built on a stretch of land. It's a 9-mile-long cart path with a 10-story drop on the 13th tee from the tee box down, so big elevation changes.
What's really impressive is the consistent and amazing conditioning that shines through on all of the layouts. Adding to the repertoire is Boyne's enjoyable alpine and the shot-making monument courses.
And one of the things that we think is pretty cool is the 1.25 mile drive out to the first tees of those golf courses, and they start kind of right next to each other. But we think that that's kind of unique. It sets the stage, kind of a decompression zone almost, as you drive up there in anticipation of playing golf. So it's exciting, and like you've experienced on the Alpine and the Monument, similar styles, but Monuments being a little bit more challenging. But it's great fun. Once again, we're excited that we have all this variety in such a tight-knit circle. Like you said, 45 minutes, you can reach any of the courses from the other ones. So,
if you want to get better at this great game, then the BOYNE Academy can set you straight. Their indoor facility, complete with the gear system, will help put your body in the right positions to swing the club properly. The gigantic 32-acre, 360-degree driving range is one of the largest in the world, and now comes complete with TrackMan Range, which provides a multitude of games and dynamic feedback right to your smartphone.
So our outdoor TrackMan range is fantastic. It covers a huge hitting tee with Doppler radar, and it tracks the golf ball every single shot you hit. But then also for our players with the Golf Academy, we can actually look at parameters and say, you know what, we're trying to increase that angle of attack, get you hitting up on the ball, and if you do that, you're going to see this kind of launch conditions for your driver. And it's pretty good to have, when you're practicing, get feedback. That's one of the keys to really improving is having feedback.
You have a number of options getting here, from driving, of course, to flying into Traverse City, which is only 35 minutes flying time from Chicago. Or for a scenic adventure, you could cruise over on one of the auto ferries from Wisconsin. Many smart golf packages are available to assure that you have a memorable, fun BOYNE vacation that fits you to a T.
I would call the 800 number on the site and talk to one of our experience agents, because they're very well versed in this. They know this is a guided path, especially. We have over 3,000 beds just on our properties, plus the area community more than doubles that. So when you take all these options and how much golf do you want to play and what experience level and what do you want to experience, we have the ability to suit a vacation to you, and the experience agents are very good at that.
It's about enjoying yourself when you're here, and that's what it really should be at the root of it. And we think that the environment that you're in while you're out playing our golf courses and the way we set them up and with the green speeds and the condition and trying to make them more playable, as much as possible with some little amendments over the years. And, it's really about just having fun.
Trust me, BOYNE is incredible. And up next, we get some helpful instruction, and we go to a man's house in Chicago that has one of the most incredible golf collections you will ever see. So stay tuned.
The CDJ Foundation utilizes the game of golf to enhance the lives of individuals with special needs, youth, and veterans. We are proud to help carry out the mission of the association through our initiatives to grow the game and provide access to individuals to enhance their lives through golf.
Every sunrise offers an opportunity to get outside, to be greeted by crisp morning air and the smell of fresh-cut grass. Visit Mistwood Golf Club. You're next up on the tee.
Here at BOYNE Golf, each course tells its own story about friends, about challenges, about unforgettable moments. This is Michigan's Magnificent 10. Golf as pure as it gets.
Hi, I'm Joe Charles with the BOYNE Golf Academy, and I've got a quick tip for you today to be able to make a little better impact or contact with your irons in terms of the centerness of hit, which is the 5 ball flight laws that we look at to really play better golf. So in order to hit the center of the club face, one of the most important physical attributes that we look for in players is your balance, okay? If you're losing your balance, it's really hard to hit the ball in the center of that face consistently. That's one of the biggest things that differentiates good players from bad players, hitting the center of that club face. So one thing we see all the time is an inability to get the balance working from one foot to the other and getting the balance in the middle of your feet, especially in the setup position, okay? A lot of times we see players that are either on their heels or on the balls of their feet, on their toes a little too much in the setup, and that kind of puts you behind the 8 ball right before you get going. One of the ways you can check that and make sure your balance point is in the middle of your feet where it should be when you're getting ready to hit is by taking an alignment stick. So here in northern Michigan, we call these driveway markers, okay? But if you take an alignment stick, throw that on the ground, what I want you to do is go ahead and stand on that alignment stick and kind of get your feet. You can see I'm rocking my feet and I'm getting my weight from my toes to my heels, and I can kind of feel that pressure of that alignment stick right in the middle of my feet. So from there, I'll take practice swings and I'll try to feel that feeling as I'm swinging. I don't see a lot of weight getting to my toes or my heels as I'm doing that. So I'm trying to be conscious of where that pressure is. From there, you can actually hit golf shots and try to feel that weight in the middle of that stick. Okay, from there, you can see I'm able to hit that golf ball and kind of keep my balance a little bit more successfully, okay? Try that, get a little better with your balance, and you'll be able to hit the ball a little closer to the center of the club face and play better golf.
Welcome back to Golf360, presented by Chicago District Golfer Magazine. You might have read the story about Jim McCormick, who has possibly one of the greatest collection of golf memorabilia in the entire world, and it's right here in downtown Chicago. We are at Jim's house right now, and we're going to show you all this memorabilia and maybe take you, down the road of the history of golf.
Golfing sort of emerged 1600s maybe, certainly 1700s, and by the 1800s was quite established. I have a couple items that would go back into the 1600s. I like very specific items that have historical significance. I like things like trophies and medals, you mentioned, that connects a specific event and a specific individual to an event in the golfing world that is, quote, history. And so that appeals to me.
Yeah, and walking your house, I think the obvious question people want to know maybe is, what is your favorite item? But you talk about every item the same way, with the same enthusiasm.
I get asked all the time, what's your favorite? What's your favorite? All the time. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible to answer.
How many total items do you have now, about?
Well, I have everything cataloged, so I could probably, opening it, tell you the exact number. I'm guessing between 2,000 and 2,500, something like that.
All right, and you started with a club. You have golf balls, you have trophies. You know, you said you were just gathering all that stuff, but maybe does any of certain items have more value than others, or did that matter to you, or you just wanted to collect as much golf history as you could?
I particularly have a fondness for the old majors. Willie Park Jr., he won the British Open back in the 80s twice, and I have one of his medals from a win. I have Gene Sarazen's gold medal from his famous 1935 Masters. You know, it's a shot heard around the world. When it comes to clubs, I like I have a fondness for the very old, the 17th century, the 18th century items. There's so few of them. When it comes to clubs also, I like personal association, meaning, you know, I have Harry Vardon's putter that he used, by the way, signed with a signed letter from him attesting that he used in winning the 1914 Open. When it comes to balls, my collection of feather balls. I'm not sure there's another place in the world that you can see more specifically stamped, named featheries than you can here. Well, up until about 1850, Patrick, the predominant golf ball was made out of feathers. And here's a feather ball that actually Tom Morris made. T. Morris, they stamp them. Extremely expensive. I mean, in modern money, maybe $150. So no commoners were playing in those days. It was landed gentry for the most part.
All right, with this amazing collection, what's your overall goal? What are we doing with it all?
Well, that's a good question. And with each passing year, it becomes more relevant, I suppose. There's an old saying in the collecting community that we really don't own this stuff. We just happen to be the current careholders.
Look forward to walking around here with you.
Terrific.
Appreciate
Let's
you having
go.
it over. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Needless to say, Jim McCormick loves the wonderful history and memorabilia that goes with a game of golf. What an absolutely amazing collection. Coming up next, we hear from Chicago's very own Tour Edge with their sweet-sounding performing clubs. Stick around.
In the peaceful rolling hills of Channahon, Illinois, you will find a majestic layout that will please any golfer. Heritage Bluffs Public Golf Club is a true test of the game in an unspoiled setting showcasing natural landforms rarely experienced in Illinois. Architect Dick Nugent masterfully laid out one of the area's best courses, featuring open prairie-style golf to challenging tree-lined holes. Come see why Heritage Bluffs is one of Chicagoland's highest-rated courses today.
Huh, Ridgeback. Ridgeback? That's pretty cool. So it's a brace for the face?
Ridgeback. Like the dog?
I'm really a cat guy. So what is it?
The best feeling and longest metal wood you'll ever hit.
Was that Bernhard?
Oh, great, Langer. You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
The CDGA is an allied golf association of the USGA. It's the only one based in Illinois. Becoming a CDGA member is more than just having a handicap service. A CDGA membership is really a no-brainer. It essentially pays for itself. The membership is $40, and all members have a wide variety of exclusive offers and savings opportunities from both golf and non-golf entities.
Tour Edge Golf continues to elevate the ever-competitive golf equipment world, thanks in part to fresh engineers, getting their clubs in some of the greatest players to ever play, and founder David Glod's perseverance. Now they are one of the top manufacturers in the game.
For years, Tour Edge was known primarily as a company producing dynamic metal woods. While they still make an arsenal of woods, drivers, and all other clubs, it's their new irons that are making people take notice.
Hearing really good reviews behind me of all the guys hitting the irons here. What makes it different this year, and you know, why is it so darn good?
Yeah, so we really focused on irons this last couple of years in R&D. We hired a new crew as well, who are iron designers, and that's what they do. So we have two really good irons right now in that 721 series. The C, which is a hollow iron, but a little bit for the better player, medium better player. C is for competition, and then the E, 721, is extreme. So that's gonna be your distance iron, a deep cavity back, undercut sole, a little bit wider sole, strong lofts, and they both feature our VibraCore technology, which is really, for all intents and purposes, a real lightweight rubber material that's in two places within the body of these heads. And it helps dampen the vibration and actually increases the speed as well.
These irons are also making a solid splash on the PGA Tour champions, led by two-time major winner John Daly.
He was the first one to put the C721 irons into play, and since then I think he's been responsible for at least two other guys putting them into play as far as introducing them to them. And we've had three other guys, so 5 different players are choosing that new player's distance iron we have. So it's gangbusters out there right now.
Also in 2021, these Tour Edge clubs produce an all-important, impressive sound and impact.
We hear the guys hitting it behind us right now. It sounds amazing. I know that's important to players. I know it's important to tour players, but how important is that to you? And then how do you make it sound that good?
Yeah, so in our CAD software now, we have this FEA technology. We can basically, just through the CAD model, and there's a lot of work that goes behind it, but we can output a head and we can tell what it's gonna sound like, and we can tell what it's gonna hit like on the CAD's, on the computer screen. So it's just really advanced technology.
To say David Glott and his company has come a long way is an understatement. In 1986, the dream began making clubs in his suburban Chicago garage. These days, he's still not afraid to get his hands dirty working in the factory or listening to world-class players on the Champions Tour, developing the best clubs possible.
The driver looks amazing when you set it down. The top line of the irons look great when you set it down. That has to be part of the process as well when you're developing new technology, correct?
Yeah, huge emphasis on R&D. David Glott is still our master club designer. He's the one at the helm. We're using this robot that we have in-house that we call TED. It stands for Tour Edge Development. TED has been a huge part of just, we have that robot going all day long. We're looking at all the different shafts. So we're very, very committed to R&D and staying up with the big boys and then undercutting them with price. So you can get the same performance or better for half the price pretty much with everything we make.
Recently, one of our staff got fit at the Tour Edge facility in Batavia, and within 48 hours, the clubs were delivered, and it was on a Sunday. Next up on Golf360, presented by Chicago District Golfer magazine, we're going to see the magnificent new clubhouse at the Preserve at Oak Meadows, so stay with us.
Introducing the newest addition to Zero Friction's Performance Arsenal, the Laser Pro SM. Shoot on point without taking you out of the zone. Equipped with power magnet to holster your Laser Pro and play on. The power magnet keeps your Laser Pro SM at a convenient arm's reach length. The SM device is equipped with slope measurement that is able to be quickly turned on and off while vibrating to notify you when you've zeroed in on your target. The pistol-shaped comfort grip is lightweight with an easy-to-read scope. Once locked on, get your yardage on a clear-cut LCD screen. Lock in and play on. Shoot on point without taking you out of the zone.
Lynx Lager Craft Beer, a new silky smooth, tasty libation that may just help your game. It's good from the first tee to the 19th hole. Ask for it at your favorite golf club or go to whiskeyhillbrewing.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Charles with the BOYNE Golf Academy, and I've got a quick tip for you today to be able to hit some high, soft shots out of the rough. For that shot, we're going to utilize our highest lofted golf club for obvious reasons. The other thing that we want to do is make sure that we're using that club properly and using the bounce of that club. Okay, that's the part of the club we really want interacting with the ground when we hit this shot. So there's a couple things that we're going to do in the setup in order to achieve that. The first thing that we're going to want to do, if you look at my wedge when it's square, we're going to open that face up. That increases the loft on the club, but more importantly what it does is it increases the bounce. You'll see the sole of that club lowering a little bit below the leading edge. That increases the bounce, that gets the club bouncing off the ground and gets it so we can slide that club under the ball a little easier. From there, we are actually going to, if you look at it from this angle, we are going to lower that handle a little bit. See how I'm lowering the handle? That increases the bounce as well, and it gets it so that the club interacts with the turf in this thick rough really well, and that ball comes out nice and high and soft. So if we're going to do that in our setup, we're opening that face, we're lowering the handle a little bit. From there, what I'm trying to feel when I'm swinging the club is like the club is bouncing off the turf, and I'm actually, believe it or not, intentionally hitting the ground a little bit before the golf ball. If you're using the bounce well, you're not going to chunk it, okay? So if I open the face, lower the handle a little bit, and hit the ground a little before the ball, you can see that ball pops straight up in the air, lands nice and soft on the green, and you'll be able to hit a little closer to the hole when you don't have much green to work with.
The Preserve at Oak Meadows is a longtime CDGA member club that recently opened their doors to a brand spanking new clubhouse. The impressive structure is a breath of fresh air to Chicagoland's golf landscape.
In 2017, the Preserve at Oak Meadows opened to rave reviews from golfers and environmentalists after an extensive renovation. The layout was vastly improved, expanded, and the overflowing Salt Creek was put to rest. Now the final piece of the puzzle has been cemented with a state-of-the-art clubhouse that is highly functional, appealing, and unlike anything out there.
You know, we knew, even when we redid the golf course, we knew that we wanted to do things a little differently. I think in some ways public golf had fit a certain mold for decades here in Chicago, and it was time for that mold to break. To have another clubhouse that maybe looked like others on the landscape wasn't our goal at all. We wanted to do something different, something that was looking towards the future, and something that would really set us apart in the years ahead.
Yeah, so the architect really took some examples from mid-century modern style, so where you're looking at things like big expanses of windows to capture views, bring that natural light in, really connect the inside to the outside. Having really expansive patios like we're sitting on right now is really important also to bring that inside and outside together.
This structure is literally rock solid with a combination of steel, wood, concrete, and natural stone. It all just fits along very nicely with the award-winning golf course.
The clubhouse that used to be here, left over from the Elmhurst Country Club days, was a great building, but it was 50,000 square feet of brick and Tudor style that was kind of a monument on the landscape. We decided to do something different altogether. Instead of having a clubhouse that would dominate the landscape, we wanted a clubhouse that would feature views and welcome people out into the course itself. So the whole idea is to walk in and not so much have to study or feel like you're even in an indoor space, but the ability to have your attention drawn to the outdoors, look out into the course, the native areas, and enjoy long, expansive views.
So when we started out with the architect, you know, he really did have a keen eye to what were the views, what would they be from where the clubhouse is right now. So, you know, really, sitting out here on the patio, you really do get to see all of that intention that was put into the design, where you can see, you know, the Salt Creek that's right behind you, you can see 18 that's behind me.
In addition, the new building has a convenient carry-out window, making it very easy for golfers to grab food and drink when they are making the turn. An ever-changing menu at the Greenway Tap will offer a variety of food options to satisfy any palate. Plenty of drink choices are also available, along with an extensive list of local craft beers.
We've got the bar, we've got the area around the bar, the patio that spills into the landscape, but we can flex in from that area into an event place. There's room in there comfortably for event size from 100 all the way up to 200 and everything in between, using the various parts and pieces of this building.
Now that the clubhouse is established, it means that a full slate of charity and corporate outings will be hitting the Preserve's fairways. Plus, they will host sectional events, such as the upcoming CDGA Illinois State Amateur on this glorious piece of property.
The course is in great shape, has been all year. Luke, our director of agronomy, works his tail off to keep the course in excellent shape. A lot of people don't realize the time and effort that goes into maintaining a golf course. You know, they show up and think it just happens, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes to make the course as great as it is.
And what are you hearing from the golfers after they see and experience the new clubhouse and get to play this great golf course?
Well, I think the golfers, especially those that have been in the community for a while, they feel like they've been welcomed home. They've enjoyed playing here the last few years, but to have a space where they can come in and relax, pre-round, post-round, completes the experience for them. This place for a long time meant something to the community, as Oak Meadows, as the Elmhurst Country Club, and now as the Preserve. It was a place that brought people together. And so many of those memories were here in the past, and now we're poised to make memories for the future.
Well, now the Preserve at Oak Meadows has it all. And thanks so much to our wonderful host, the unrivaled 10 courses of BOYNE Golf here in convenient Michigan. It is so darn good. Golf360 is presented by Chicago District Golfer Magazine. And please be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and linksvideo.net. Well, now I've got to go play this awesome course. We'll see you out there.
In the peaceful rolling hills of Channahon, Illinois, you will find a majestic layout that will please any golfer. Heritage Bluffs Public Golf Club is a true test of the game in an unspoiled setting showcasing natural landforms rarely experienced in Illinois. Architect Dick Nugent masterfully laid out one of the area's best courses featuring open prairie-style golf to challenging tree-lined holes. Come see why Heritage Bluffs is one of Chicagoland's highest-rated courses today.
Here at BOYNE Golf, each course tells its own story about friends, about challenges, about unforgettable moments. This is Michigan's Magnificent 10. Golf as pure as it gets.
Bartlett Hills Golf Club is a true hidden gem that checks all of the golf boxes. Uncommon, undulating Illinois landscape stands out on this championship design in Chicago's western suburb of Bartlett. Conditioning that rivals a private club with beautiful greens that are pure and with just the right amount of challenge. Once you play this Parkland-style design, you will want to come back to play it again and again. Please go to bartletthills.com to book your next tee time, outing, or banquet today.
Lynx Lager Craft Beer, a new silky smooth, tasty libation that may just help your game. It's good from the first tee to the 19th hole. Ask for it at your favorite golf club or go to whiskeyhillbrewing.com.